Hello everybody, Bruce McGonagall here, Civilization 7. One of the cool features of Civilization 7 is the Commander. Now the Commander is the only unit that is actually able to level up right now in Civilization, though I do think that they're going to bring back veteran units in further expansions or perhaps in further updates. But for now, let's take a look at the one unit that can be upgraded. The nice thing as well about commanders is they do have hit points, so they cannot be killed immediately just by going over them. As you can see here, they've got 10 defensive strength. Okay, so if we take a look, you will see that there's different trees available in the commander section there, and down at the bottom, you've got commendation points. Okay. So I chose with mine to go with maneuver. So my command radius is +1 on this guy. Now you can see here with the maneuver I chose, this commander has +1 movement while on land and ignores terrain movement restrictions when packed. Okay. Now this when packed seems to be critical. I believe it means when I have all 6 slots open. Okay, next thing is probably the most important commander skill, and that is the ability to unload your troops and have them be able to attack after they are unloaded. It's so important. The initiative allows you basically to come in, drop in troops where you kind of want them, and then be able to surprise attack basically, or just come in and flatten people in a direction like flanking. So it's really, really good, folks. And if you don't take it, you're going to probably regret it, because you can lose the commander, and that's the one thing you don't want to do, is have your commander die because he couldn't unpack the troops and have them defend him from ranged attacks from where he was forced to stop so he could unpack the troops. It's really, really important. Then you have over here one feature that I took. This is why I haven't been doing the skill trees, but I'm fooling around. I'm like everybody else. I'm basically dabbling my feet in the water. This is the first 24 hours of the game being pre-released for retail. So this one I chose as Bulwark. It allows the land units around the commander to complete fortifications 1 turn faster, which is basically 1 turn. And the thing that makes that so great is if you need to start healing up your troops, you really want to get them fortified so that they can start healing, because healing in this game is a pain in the butt, because you do not level up individually anymore on your units. So there is no, oh, I just got 50 or 60% of my hit points back because I leveled up anymore. That does not happen in this game. You are strictly relying upon being able to fortify and then rest per turn, and that does take a while, folks. So you need big armies, and I guess that's why they've got the commander's structure the way that it is set up. As you can see here, I don't want to go through all of them for you because I believe letting people go through it themselves, but there are all different kinds of different things that you can do, from being able to move, being able to afford your army, to being able to surprise attack, or specifically focus on whether or not you want your commander to be helping ranged units, sieged units, infantry, cavalry. You get where I'm going with this. It's absolutely fantastic, folks. It's going to be really interesting to see which combinations of all of these different trees that add together will create like a super commander that just steamrolls everything in late game. So I'm really interested in seeing how that's going to go, but we are only dealing with antiquities at this point, and I will be making more videos later on with some of the later eras for you. So here we go with our commander, or legatus for the Romans, and I'm going to show you now. I'm going to bring him up here, and I'm going to show you the unload feature so you can see exactly how that plays out. Now as we come up here, you can see that Pachacuti has Burning Arrow. Okay, so these archers are bad boys. They light people up on fire, and it damages the tile with fire for 2 turns. So your next turn, you basically either want to get off of that tile, or you hope that you don't die to the fire that's going to hit you on top of all the damage that you already took. So as you can see here, he's kind of a priority. Now I've only got 1 movement left, and there's rough terrain around here. So if I move into the rough terrain, it's going to stop me. But what I can do, thanks to my leadership ability that I showed you here earlier with Assault, where I have initiative, is I can unpack this commander. And I don't have to do it by this button here that deploys everybody in a random way. I can specifically choose how I want this to play out. And I'm going to show you why that's so important. So here's the rough terrain that would take us 1 move to move our guy through, and he would stop, but not when you unpack him. So here I've got a Legion guy. Okay, he's got 2 movement points. I unpack him, he will still have those 2 movement points. Check it out. Okay, so he is now ready to roll. Unfortunately, I can't come down here and get that archer with him because of how things are set up. So what I want to do is I want to start unpacking this trebuchet, and I'm going to try and get it to fire on this guy so I can try and get him down enough that I will be able to come in and open up for coming at this archer. The thing with this is you have to be very, very careful not to end up in all of this rough terrain with these archers, because then you're moving backwards into terrain that they can light up on fire, and you're going to end up in a lot of trouble in a big way. Because like I showed you a little bit earlier, this is all terrible terrain for that, for attacking. Going to unpack the trebuchet up here where it's nice and defended. Don't have to worry about any attacks coming from the city and lighting it up on fire. We'll put it back here and we'll use it to fire. There you go. You can see it took 14. Now, this is a big thing with the commanders as well. When I'm here, I have to be beside him. When I do the attack, it's the commander that gets the experience. Okay? So if I wanted to with my last movement point, I could actually bring him up here like that. And when this attack happens now, I will be getting that XP as well, as you just saw. So now I've been able to get to this point, attacking with a flank, and boom, disco. But as you can see, like I warned about, he's now got another fire guy. So he's going to take 2 shots at my guy, no problem. Maybe a shot at this guy up here and kill him. But odds are, one of my guys is likely going to die. But the good news is I can bring down my galley and show you all at the end that we can fire on this guy, and maybe he's not going to do as much damage as before. So one of the things that I've noticed in Civilization that I don't like is the ability to move troops across the battlefield to a commander without the AI, other players, or even yourself being able to interact with it. I'm going to show you right now. So we've got an archer up here in Roma. I've selected the archer, and you will notice down here, okay, it says reinforce army. So it says reinforce the army of a selected commander. Unit is removed from map during travel time. So I'm going to click on this. And you can see down here I've got a commander, so it's lit up green saying there's a spot for him there. So I will click on that, and you will now notice my archer is gone. So if I come down here and I click, you will notice this commander, the Gatas, he has the archer in there. It's showing the archer will take 4 turns to reach him. Okay, it has taken up a commander slot, so you will not be able to put another troop in there until the archer comes and the archer is ejected. So at least there is that penalty. But let's face it, folks, in strategic combat throughout human history, reinforcing the troops is important. So important that massive amounts of dedicated resources were put into being able to stop reinforcements, whether by slowing them down or whether by eliminating them, from being able to get to the main host army. And of course that makes sense. The less people able to fight you in one spot, the more likely you are to win in that spot. So that is quite annoying. I don't know why they decide to do it, but I do believe they will probably have to take a big look at that and remove the ability to have that troop hidden. My guess is the reason why they did this is because there's so many variables in combat and with the different types of terrain that it might have made it very, very hard for the AI to move the troops to the commander in a given specific amount of time. And there might have been ways to basically glitch out the AI from being able to send the troops over to the commander depending on exactly what is going on. That's what I'm guessing, but that's lazy. This is a franchise video game that's iconic and basically the #1 franchise for a very long time in the PC gaming world. So they could have done a better job on that. I'm hoping this is going to be something they address sooner versus later, because I honestly believe it takes away from the franchise and from the quality of combat.